In the name of Allah, most merciful, most beneficent, the King of the King and the King of the Day of Recompense. I am Rimsha Khalil, currently studying in Social Work Department at Peshawar University. Today the topic which I have selected for my presentation is Impairment, Disability and Handicap. So let's start with the introduction. There are different terms and terminologies used for the word disabled, but with the passage of time different researches took place and a disabled person was given a name person with disability. जैसे कि हमें पता है कि डिफरेंट टर्म्स एंड टर्मिनोलॉजीज़ का इस्तेमाल किया गया है डिसेबल्ड पर्सनस के लिए, बट विद द पैसेज ऑफ टाइम मुख्तलिफ रिसर्चेस हुई और डिसेबल्ड पर्सन को एक नेम दे दिया गया पर्सन विद डिसेबिलिटी का. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, it is impossible to do any good things for other without knowing with having information and knowledge regarding that specific issue or problem. So, the important component for helping other is to having knowledge is necessary about others. There are three terminologies used for the word disabilities. Each word have different meaning, but one thing which is very common in these terminologies are that disability of a person has an effect on his entire life which create problems for these people. जैसे कि हमें पता है थ्री टर्मिनोलॉजीज इस्तेमाल की गई हैं डिसेबिलिटीज़ के वर्ड के लिए. द वन इज़ एम्पेयरमेंट, सेकेंड वन इज़ डिसेबिलिटी एंड द थर्ड वन इज़ हैंडीकैप. हर वर्ड का डिफरेंट मीनिंग है, बट वन थिंग विच इज़ वेरी कॉमन इन दिस टर्मिनोलॉजी आर दैट disability of a person has an effect on his entire life, जो कि उसके लिए problems, hurdles create करती हैं. So, our first terminology is impairment. According to WHO, World Health Organization, any temporary or permanent loss of abnormality of a body function, whether physiological or psychological. As we know that impairment is abnormality itself and it is at the organ level. For example, such as loss of limbs, loss of vision, loss of hearing. Impairment is specific with person's body. Example of impairment include mental retardation, blindness, paralysis of limbs, etc. So, I will discuss our second terminology, that is disability. A disability is a restriction or caused by the impairment. According to World Health Organization, disability is any restriction or lack of ability to perform an activity in manner or within the range considered normal for a human being. According to WHO, disability को किसी भी restriction या किसी भी activity को अंजाम देने की सलाहियत की कमी के तौर पर बयान करता है, जो कि इंसान के लिए normal समझा जाता है. In other words, disability means lack of capacity to perform an activity in a manner that is considered to be a normal. For example, such as people who cannot see, who cannot hear. If the other person are visually impaired and they cannot watch, so this is called their disability by their eyes. And if the person having hearing loss, so they cannot hear, this is disability and not called impairment. There are great misconceptions among the people and they do not know that what is actually with disability and who is called disabled. हमारे यहाँ एक great misconception है लोगों के दरमियान, वो नहीं जानते कि disability और disable में क्या फ़र्क. So, if a person do not have any ability, so it's defined as the dysfunctioning of any body part is called disabled. And we cannot work with that body part is called disability. So this is the big difference of disability or disable. So our third terminology is handicap. Handicap is a social part of the society. जैसे कि हमें पता है कि handicap माजूरी को कहा जाता है, in which our society play role. वो problems, वो hurdles, वो restriction जो कि face करते हैं हमारी society में due to disability are called handicap. If two things, acceptability and facility feature does not exist in our society for special people are called handicap. अगर हमारे माशरे में ये दो features exist नहीं कर रहे, एक acceptability का and the second one is facility का, तो special peoples are called handicap. For example, as we know that an elevator has been installed in some places but it has not been activated due to which special people face many difficulties on a daily basis. Being a member of society, it was my or our responsibility to provide these facilities to them. तो हम लोगों ने ये थ्री टर्मिनोलॉजीज पढ़ी The first one is impairment. It is abnormality itself and it is at the organ level. Disable, it is the result of impairment and it is at the personal level. Handicap, in which our society play a role and it is at the societal level. So, at last we concluded all disabled individuals are impaired and all handicapped individuals are impaired. But an individual can be disabled and not essentially be disabled, and a person can be impaired without being handicapped. एक इंडिविजुअल डिसेबल हो सकता है बट बुनियादी तौर पर डिसेबल नहीं हो सकता, बट अ पर्सन कैन बी इम्पेयर्ड विदाउट बीइंग हैंडीकैप. So this is all about my topic. Thank you very much.